Welcome to Prerona Television Canada on behalf of Global Academy of Holistic Leadership and Coaching. Uh, we would like to welcome you our regular leadership speaker series, and today is our episode 35. And we are very happy we're continuing our session. And today's our topic is leadership and human excellence. As you know that we are continuing this session every week, and we are conducting these sessions. On Mountain Standard Time at 9 p.m. and Eastern Standard Time 11 p.m. And in Bangladesh, it is on Thursday morning at 10 a.m. and Indian Standard Time it's Thursday morning at 9:30 a.m. So thank you very much, those who are following with us. The purpose of this session is to provide you, uh, share with you the leadership skills and techniques that is very much needed right now at the pandemic stage. So today we'll be sharing with you those topics. We'll be waiting for our speaker. So as he comes, so we'll be sharing with you some of the information. So let me share the screen for with you here. So as you know that today's our topic is leadership and human excellence. As you know, this series actually is we are our language, the medium of language is English. So we share in English for the Bourbon because we are based in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. So, but also for we also do share in Bengali language at the later part of the sessions. Those who are following with us in different parts of the world and those who are speaking in that language. So uh, today's hour, as I said, our topic is leadership and human excellence. So as you know that we start our sessions with a quote, and uh, we will be waiting for our speaker as he comes. We'll be sharing with you very briefly in Bengali. আহ, আপনাদের প্রেরণা টেলিভিশনের পক্ষ থেকে এবং গ্লোবাল একাডেমি অফ হোলিস্টিক লিডারশিপ অ্যান্ড কোচিং এর পক্ষ থেকে আপনাদের স্বাগতম জানাচ্ছি। আজকে আমাদের আমরা রেগুলারলি আমাদের লিডারশিপ বা নেতৃত্বের যে সিরিজ করে থাকি তারই 35তম পর্ব আজকে আমাদের, এবং আমরা খুবই আনন্দিত আপনাদের আমরা লিডারশিপ নেতৃত্ব বিষয়ে আজকে যে বিষয়ে আমরা কথা বলবো নেতৃত্ব এবং হিউম্যান এক্সেলেন্স, যে মানব উৎকর্ষতা সে বিষয়ে কথা বলবো। এবং আমরা খুবই আনন্দিত আমরা আজকে 35তম পর্ব আমরা করছি, এবং আমাদের আজকের সিরিজে আমরা আমরা আমাদের যে স্পিকার উনি আসবেন। তো তার আগে আমরা বাংলায় বেশ কিছু কথা বলবো। যারা আমাদের সাথে ফলো করছেন বিভিন্ন জায়গা থেকে, আমরা জানেন আমরা আমাদের সিরিজটা এডমন্টন আলবার্টা কানাডা থেকে আমরা এটা পরিচালনা করি, এবং আমাদের এখানে এডমন্টন আলবার্টা যেটা মাউন্টেন স্ট্যান্ডার্ড টাইম ফলো করে আমাদের রাত 9টা, এবং আমাদের যারা অটোয়া বা টরন্টোতে থাকে তারা ইস্টার্ন স্ট্যান্ডার্ড টাইম ফলো করে এবং তাদের এখন রাত 11টা, এবং যারা বাংলাদেশে রয়েছে তাদের হচ্ছে বৃহস্পতিবার সকাল 10টা, এবং ইন্ডিয়া ভারতের যারা রয়েছে তাদের সকাল 9:30। তো আজকে আমরা আমাদের নেতৃত্ব যে সিরিজ রয়েছে তারই ধারাবাহিকতায় আজকে আমাদের 35তম পর্ব। আজকে আমাদের আপনাদের সাথে আমরা সাধারণত শুরু করে থাকি একটা কোটেশন দিয়ে। ভিন্স লোমবার্ডি নামে এক ভদ্রলোক যিনি তা বলেছেন, পারফেকশন ইজ নট অ্যাটেনেবল বাট ইফ ইউ চেস পারফেকশন উই ক্যান ক্যাচ এক্সেলেন্স। যেখানে পারফেকশন আমরা জানি যে সচরাচর আমরা পারফেকশন কেউ মানে পারফেক্ট বা সম্পূর্ণভাবে পরিপূর্ণ নয়, কিন্তু যদি আমরা পারফেকশনের দিকে আমরা যদি চেষ্টা করি, নিরন্তর চেষ্টা করি, তাহলে কিন্তু আমরা এক্সেলেন্স বা উৎকর্ষতা অর্জন করতে পারবো। খুবই সুন্দর কথা কথা বলা আছে এখানে। সুতরাং আমাদের আমাদের সর্বোচ্চ চেষ্টা থাকবে যে আমরা উৎকর্ষতার দিকে যেতে। এরিস্টটল নামে যে মহান দার্শনিক আমরা জানি, তিনি এই কথাটা বলেছেন যে উই আর হোয়াট উই আর রিপিটেডলি ডু এক্সেলেন্স দেন ইট ইজ নট অ্যাক্ট বাট আ হ্যাবিট। মানে আমরা মানে নিরন্তর যে বা যে বিষয়গুলো করি আহ, আহ, সেটা আমাদের উৎকর্ষতা অর্জন করে। এটা শুধু অ্যাক্ট না, এবং এটা ব্যবহার বা আচরণ বা আমাদের পরিবর্তিত হয়। এরপরেও বুকার টি ওয়াশিংটন নামে উনি বলেছেন যে এক্সেলেন্স টু ডু আ কমন থিং ইন অ্যান আনকমন ওয়ে। তো মানে এক্সিলেন্ট বা উৎকর্ষতা এমন একটা বিষয় যেটা আমাদের সাধারণ বিষয়গুলো আনকমন ওয়ে বা অন্য মানে মানে সাধারণভাবে মানে অন্যভাবে করে থাকে। তো এছাড়াও আরো আর একটা কনফিউশিয়াস আমরা জানি, মহান দার্শনিক কনফিউশিয়াস, তার এখানে যে বিষয়টা তিনি বলেছেন, দ্য উইল টু উইন, দ্য উইল টু উইন, দ্য ডিজায়ার টু সাকসেস, দ্য আর্জ টু রিচ ইউর ফুল পটেনশিয়াল, দিজ আর দ্য কিজ দ্যাট উইল আনলক দ্য ডোর টু পার্সোনাল এক্সেলেন্স। পার্সোনাল বা ব্যক্তিগত উৎকর্ষতা আমরা কিভাবে অর্জন করতে পারি? ব্যক্তিগত আহ, ব্যক্তিগত উৎকর্ষতা অর্জন করতে গেলে আমাদেরকে যে সে মনোবাঞ্ছা মনের ইচ্ছা থাকতে হবে, এবং আমাদের যে সাকসেস করার বা জেতার সে আমাদের আকাঙ্ক্ষা থাকতে হবে, এবং আমাদের যে ফুল পটেনশিয়াল, আমাদের সর্বশক্তি, আমাদের যে তালান্ত রয়েছে, তালান্তরা রয়েছে আমাদের, সেই তালান্ত দিয়ে আমাদের চেষ্টা করতে হবে। এবং এবং এইগুলো যদি আমরা ফলো করি, তাহলে আমাদের যে পার্সোনাল এক্সেলেন্স বা ব্যক্তিগত যে উৎকর্ষতা, এটার যে দরজা খুলে যাবে। এটা খুবই গুরুত্বপূর্ণ কথা কনফুসিয়াস যে বিখ্যাত দার্শনিক তিনি বলেছেন। এখন আমরা যদি লিডারশিপের কথা বলি, তো লিডারশিপ নেতৃত্বে আহ, সাধারণত বলা যায় মেড অফ প্যাশন টু এক্সেল পার্সোনালি অ্যান্ড অফ দ্য ইন্সপিরেশন দ্যাট হেল্পস আদার্স টু এক্সেল থ্রু হিউম্যান এক্সেলেন্স। লিডারশিপের নেতৃত্বে এখানে যে কথাটা বলা আছে যে আমরা ব্যক্তিগতভাবে যদি আমাদের সেই প্যাশন বা আমাদের সেই আগ্রহ বা আমাদের সেই চেষ্টা থাকে, যাতে আমরা এক্সেল বা উৎকর্ষ অর্জন করতে পারি, এবং এর মাধ্যমে কিন্তু আমরা হিউম্যান বা মানবিক যে মানবিক যে উৎকর্ষতা সেটা অর্জন করতে পারি। তো হিউম্যান এক্সিলেন্স ফ্রন্টিয়ার্স আর স্ট্রেসড আন্ডার ইফেক্টিভ লিডারশিপ। সো যারা এই হিউম্যান মানসিক যে যে উৎকর্ষতা, তাদের কিন্তু আসলে এই যে আন্ডার ইফেক্টিভ লিডারশিপ বা সত্যিকারের যারা নেতৃত্বে, তাদেরকে কিন্তু এটা বলা হয়। সুতরাং আমরা হিউম্যান এক্সিলেন্স বলতে এখন কি বুঝি, এটা যদি আমরা একটু উদাহরণ হিসেবে লক্ষ্য করি, দ্য ওয়ার্ড এক্সিলেন্স, এক্সিলেন্ট বা উৎকর্ষতা, এই শব্দটা এসছে কিন্তু ল্যাটিন ওয়ার্ড এক্সেল এক্সেলেন্সিয়া, যার মানেটা হচ্ছে কোয়ালিটি অফ বিং এক্সট্রিমলি গুড। তার মানে মানে সর্বোত্তম যে বিষয়টা। এবং হিউম্যান এক্সিলেন্স কুড বি ডিফাইন্ড অ্যাজ দোজ হিউম্যান কোয়ালিটিস, হিউম্যান যে এক্সিলেন্স বা মানবিক যে উৎকর্ষতা, সেটা এইভাবে বলা হয় যে ধরে মানসিক যে গুণাবলী, তার মধ্যে হচ্ছে একটা পার্সন আন্ডারস্ট্যান্ডিং এক্সেপশনাল সুপিরিয়র অর ইন ওয়ার্ড দ্য বেস্ট অফ ওয়ান হুজ কাইন্ড ইন এনি ফিল্ড অফ হিউম্যান অ্যাক্টিভিটিস। এবং তারপরে একটা ব্যক্তি মানে অত্যন্ত সুন্দরভাবে বা উৎকর্ষতার ভাবে সে কাজ করতে পারবে, এবং এক কথায় যেটাকে বলা হয় যে তার সর্বোচ্চ চেষ্টা, বেস্ট অফ হিজ কাইন্ডস ইন এনি ফিল্ড অফ হিউম্যান অ্যাক্টিভিটি। মানে মানবের যে কোনো অ্যাক্টিভিটিতেই তার যে সর্বোত্তম ভাবে যদি তার সে করতে পারে, তাহলে কিন্তু সে সে এ বিষয়ে আহ সে করতে পারবে আর কি। তো আমরা আমাদের আমাদের যে বক্তা, আমাদের যে রেগুলার যে স্পিকার উনি এসে গেছেন, তো আমরা আমাদের সেশনটা বাংলায় করছি। আমাদের এটার পরে হয়তো উনি আমাদেরকে আমাদের ওনার বক্তব্যটা বা উনি ওনার প্রেজেন্টেশনটা করবেন। তো আমরা এখানে ইমোশনাল এক্সেলেন্স ইন্টেলিজেন্স বাই ড্যানিয়েল গোলম্যান, আমরা জানি যে আমরা এর আগে কয়েকটা সেশন করেছি ইমোশনাল ইন্টেলিজেন্সের উপরে। এবং হিউম্যান এক্সেলেন্সের কথা যেটা বলেছে, সিস্টেমেটিক প্রোগ্রেস টুয়ার্ডস হিউম্যান এক্সেলেন্স নিড টু দ্য ফলোইং। তার মানে একটা মানে নির্ধারিত যে ধারা যেটা আছে, সেভাবে যদি আমরা সামনের দিকে যদি আমরা করতে পারি। তারপরে হচ্ছে যে হিউম্যান এক্সেলেন্স ইজ ইন প্রসেস বিল্ড আপন পারসিভারেন্স। তার মানে যে আমাদের সর্বোচ্চম আমরা যে এইটা আসলে কিভাবে সম্ভব, হিউম্যান এক্সেলেন্স বা মানবিক যে উৎকর্ষতা, এটা কিভাবে সম্ভব? এটা সম্ভব এইভাবেই যে আমরা যদি আম, আমাদের যদি নিরন্তর প্রচেষ্টা থাকে, এবং আমাদের মধ্যে যে এখন নিষ্ঠতা থাকে, পার্সিভিয়ারেন্স, আমরা বাংলা শব্দ যেটা বলে আমি এখানে মনে করতে পারছি না, বাট পার্সিভিয়ারেন্স যদি আমাদের মধ্যে থাকে, তাহলে পার্সিভিয়ারেন্সের মাধ্যমে কিন্তু আমরা হিউম্যান এক্সেলেন্সটা অর্জন করতে পারি। তো এগুলো আরো কিছু গুণাবলী এখানে বলা আছে, যেটা আমরা জানি যে ড্যানিয়েল গোলম্যান, যিনি ভদ্রলোক, এবং তার কথাগুলো সেলফ অ্যাওয়ারনেস, মানে আমাদের ব্যক্তিগতভাবে আমাদের আত্ম পরিচয় বা সচেতনতা, যেটা বলা হয় আত্মসচেতনতা, আত্মসচেতনতা। তারপরে আরেকটা বিষয় যেটা রয়েছে সেলফ রেগুলেশন, আত্মনিয়ন্ত্রণ, আহ, এবং সোশ্যাল স্কিল, সামাজিক দক্ষতা, এবং মোটিভেশন, উৎসাহ, উদ্দীপনা, এবং এমপ্যাথি, যে আমরা কতটুকু মানবিক বা আমরা কতটুকু বা এমপ্যাথেটিক, অন্যের প্রতি কত সহানুভূতিশীল, সহানুভূতি। এই বিষয়গুলো আমরা আগেও আলোচনা করেছি, ইমোশনাল ইন্টেলিজেন্সের বিষয়ে। তো এগুলো যদি আমরা নিরন্তর প্রচেষ্টা রাখি, তাহলে কিন্তু হিউম্যান এক্সিলেন্সটা সম্ভব। মানে ইমোশনাল ইন্টেলিজেন্সের মাধ্যমে কিন্তু হিউম্যান এক্সিলেন্স বা মানবিক উৎকর্ষতা সম্ভব। লিডারশিপ জার্নি, যে এই যে 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 নেতৃত্বের জার্নিটা কি, যাত্রাটা কি ধরনের হতে পারে। তো নেক্সট লেভেল লিডারশিপ, পরবর্তী যে যাত্রা লিডারশিপের, বিল্ড অন পজিটিভস, এটা কিন্তু পজিটিভ, মানে আমরা ভালো কিছু বা আহ, নতুন কিছুর দিকে এত রেসপন্সিবল, মানে দায়িত্বশীল, হাই লেভেল অফ কনসিয়াসনেস, মানে আমাদের অত্যন্ত ভাবে আমরা আমাদের সচেতনতা আমাদের থাকতে হবে, ক্ল্যারিটি অফ ভিশনস, আমাদের যে লক্ষ্য রয়েছে তার সম্পর্কে সুস্পষ্ট বা স্পষ্ট আমাদের স্পষ্টতা থাকতে হবে, এবং ড্রাইভিং পিপল সেন্ট্রিক অর্গানাইজেশন, তার মানে মানব বা দের দিকে কেন্দ্রীভূত আমাদের অর্গানাইজেশন বা প্রতিষ্ঠান আমাদের থাকতে হবে, যেখানে আমরা পিপল সেন্ট্রিক বা যেটা বলা হয় যে তারা প্রফিট সেন্ট্রিক না, মানে পিপলকে বা মানুষকে বা কর্মীদেরকে বা যারা এখানে ওয়ার্কার রয়েছে তাদেরকে তারা মূল্যায়ন করে। প্যাশনেট এনার্জি অ্যাট অল টাইম, তার মানে সব সময় কিন্তু আমাদের মধ্যে একটা প্যাশনেট এনার্জি বা একটা উদ্দীপনা বা একটা শক্তি আমাদের থাকতে হবে। এবং ডিজাইনিং অ্যান্ড রিশেপিং দ্য সেলফ, এবং সবসময় কিন্তু আমাদের ডিজাইন করা বা নতুন ভাবে তৈরি করা, রিশেপিং, আমাদের যদি পরিবর্তন প্রয়োজন হয়, রিশেপ করা, পরিবর্তন আমাদের করতে হবে, এটা সেলফ, নিজেকে। এটা লিডারশিপ একটা জার্নি, তার মানে নেতৃত্বের এটা একটা যাত্রা, এই যাত্রার মধ্যেও কিন্তু একটা ইফেক্টিভ লিডারশিপ কিন্তু তৈরি হয়। এখন আমরা সাধারণত আমরা আহ, আমাদের প্রেজেন্টেশনটা শেষ করে থাকি একটা $1,000,000 কোয়েশ্চেন দিয়ে, এবং $1,000,000 কোয়েশ্চেনটা হচ্ছে how best um, how best to blend human excellence and execution timeline, given that human excellence is not a short term option। তাহলে কিভাবে আমরা হিউম্যান এক্সেলেন্স আমরা ব্লেন্ড করতে পারি, মানে মানে মানবিক যে উৎকর্ষতা, এবং যে এটাকে যখন আমাদের এটাকে সম্পাদন করার সময় আসছে, যে এটা কিন্তু একটা শর্ট টার্ম বা ক্ষণস্থায়ী কিন্তু একটা অপশন নয়। তো এটা আমাদের কাছে একটা চ্যালেঞ্জ, যে যদি আমাদের যে সময়ের মধ্যে থেকে আমরা কিভাবে এই কাজটা করতে পারি। তো এটা একটা গুরুত্বপূর্ণ বিষয়, যে এটা করতে এখন ডেফিনেটলি যদি একজন আমরা জানি যে নেতৃত্ব যারা দেয় তাদের তো নিশ্চয়ই একটা প্রসেস তারা ফলো করে, এবং তাদের মধ্যে আমরা জানি, এর আগে আমরা আলোচনা করছি হ্যাবিট, তার মানে আমরা যদি প্রত্যেকটা অ্যাক্টিভিটি রেগুলারলি করি, আমরা একটা হ্যাবিটে বা আমাদের আচরণ, আমাদের অভ্যাসে পরিবর্তন হয়, এবং এই অভ্যাসটার মধ্যে আমরা তখন মানবিক উৎকর্ষতা, হিউম্যান এক্সিলেন্স অর্জন করি। এবং যখন আমরা এই যে হিউম্যান এক্সিলেন্স বা মানবিক উৎকর্ষতা অর্জন করি, তখন কিন্তু এটা কিন্তু শর্ট টার্ম অপশন হয় না, এবং আমরা কিন্তু এক্সিকিউশন টাইমলাইন গিভেন যেটা দেওয়া থাকে, এর ফলে কিন্তু দেখা যায় এটা শর্ট টার্ম অপশন হয় না। সুতরাং আমরা ক্ষণস্থায়ী যেটা অপশন বলি, এটা দীর্ঘ মেয়াদী একটা বিষয় হয়, এবং এনি গিভেন পয়েন্ট অফ টাইম, মানে যে কোনো সময় আমাদের মধ্যে ওই মানবিক উৎকর্ষতার জন্য কিন্তু আমরা আমরা কিন্তু সাকসেসফুল হতে পারি। এবং এর ফলে আমরা আরেকটা কথা এর আগেও আলোচনা করেছি, ইফেক্টিভ লিডারশিপ, তার মানে হিউম্যান এক্সেলেন্সের পরে কিন্তু আমরা একটা ইফেক্টিভ লিডারশিপ গঠন করতে পারি। তো ইন সামারি আমরা এটাই বলতে চাই যে আমাদের ইফেক্টিভ লিডারশিপ তখনই সম্ভব যখন আমরা মানবিক উৎকর্ষতা অর্জন করতে পারি থ্রু দিস প্রসেস। আমরা অলরেডি ড্যানিয়েল গোলম্যানের যে বিষয়গুলো দেখলাম, যে ইমোশনাল ইন্টেলিজেন্স অ্যান্ড হিউম্যান এক্সেলেন্স, এর মাধ্যমে কিন্তু আমাদের আমরা কিন্তু এটা অর্জন করতে পারি। তো উইথ দ্যাট আমরা আমাদের বাংলা সেশন শেষ করতে চাই, এবং আমরা আমন্ত্রণ জানাতে চাই আমাদের যে স্পিকার রয়েছে, স্পিকার অ্যাডভোকেট জিয়াউর রহমান, উনি সিইও আইআইটিএম এবং আমাদের অ্যাডজাঙ্ক ফ্যাকাল্টি অফ আইইউবি। আমরা আগামী আমরা এটা ইংলিশ সেশন শুরু করার আগে আপনাদেরকে আবারও আমন্ত্রণ জানাতে চাই। আপনারা আগামী সেশনে আসবেন। আমরা প্রত্যেক সপ্তাহে সেশন করে থাকি এবং আমরা গ্লোবাল একাডেমি অফ হলিস্টিক লিডারশিপ অ্যান্ড কোচিং, এটা কানাডা থেকে পরিচালিত একটা ম্যানেজমেন্ট ইনস্টিটিউট এবং এখানে আমরা আমাদের লিডারশিপ সিরিজ আমাদের হয়। আজকে আমাদের 35তম পর্ব হলো। আপনাদেরকে আগামী অনুষ্ঠানে আসার জন্য স্বাগত জানাচ্ছি। Uh, Welcome to Prerona Televisions. On behalf of Global Academy of Holistic Leadership, I would like to welcome you our leadership speaker series, episode 35. And I would like to invite you for our session today. And today's our topic is leadership and human excellence. We are very glad that we are conducting our sessions, and today is our uh, 35 episode. So thank you very much. We are having our speaker, regular speaker, Advocate Jiaur Rahman, and he is with us. So Advocate Jiaur Rahman will be sharing these presentations, and he is an CEO of IITM and adjunct faculty of IUB. So thank you very much, Advocate Jiaur Rahman. You can continue your presentation. Advocate Jiaur Rahman, you are muted. So can you unmute yourself, please? You are mute. Yes.
Thank you very much. Good evening in Canada and good morning in Bangladesh and rest of the world. We just listened to the Bengali part. I had a small input in the Bengali part, but since we just moved into the English part, perhaps at the end I may add my comment, just one or two comments towards the slide in Bengali as well. Anyway, this is a regular series that we have been having, and today the topic that we are presenting is on leadership. And I think at this point you can see my slides. I hope you can see my slides by this time. So let me proceed with my presentation. So, leadership and human excellence. These are two intertwined words which are extremely connected to one another. Uh, One cannot achieve leadership without the other, and vice versa. You cannot achieve human excellence without being a leader. So, in this slide, we will be including ideas from leadership vis-a-vis human, the journey for human excellence. Moving forward. Normally, I start off with some quotations and or definitions. So here is one by Vince Lombardi. He is suggesting that perfection is not attainable, but if we chase perfection, we can catch excellence. So very interesting philosophy. The whole idea is to catch excellence. So we can easily understand that. How do you catch excellence? By changing your mindset. What is that mindset? You have to start chasing perfection. That means trying to do things appropriately, trying to do things the best as you can the first time and without mistake. So that is chasing perfection. And how do you chase perfection? It's not just thinking that I will be focusing on perfection. It's the constant drive, it's constant desire and constant mindset, putting your own thought process that I will be focusing on change and development through contributing in the most meaningful way, most appropriate way. And that's how you are going to achieve excellence. So it's a journey. And Vince Lombardi had suggested this viewpoint for all of us to follow. The next quote is by Aristotle. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act but a habit. So it's like the Stephen Covey's 8 habits. If you repeatedly do something on a regular basis, things will become second nature. It will become your mother nature type of issue. You're constantly putting yourself in that domain of excellence as a leader. You are striving to push for the best output, and you are creating the ambience, you're creating the environment around you in order to get to that high pedestal of perfection or excellence. And then once you get to that point, and if you just consistently pursue that journey every time and every different engagement, you will always be close to perfection. Sometimes you may slip, but the slippage percentage would be very slight. So on average, your your average will go up tremendously. Your output will automatically will be doubled, redoubled. So that energy is needed for everyone. So in our journey for becoming a better leader, we have to be pursuing the angle of perfection and trying to make it as a habit. So rather than saying to yourself that I cannot be so accurate all the time, start telling our mind on a daily basis that I need to be 100% ready. I need to be 100% motivated. I need to communicate at a 100% level. I need to produce results at a 100%. And how do you do that? By increasing knowledge, increasing skills, increasing emotional intelligence and whatnot. So everything starts with the word 100. So you're pushing yourself with 100% speed. Obviously, you're going to move with 100% energy and ultimately get 100% result at the end of the day. So this is a nice statement by Aristotle that make yourself in this journey, make this as your second nature, and then it will become a complete habit, and success will follow as a result. Moving to the next quote. This is by Booker T. Washington, a famous writer from the United States. Um, I think one of the book that he wrote was Black Boy, as far as I remember. Anyway, it's a fantastic book that I read during my university career in the USA. Anyway, coming back to his quote, excellence is to do a common thing in an uncommon way. Absolutely. Normally, if you try to do things the old fashioned way all the time, things may not pan out appropriately. You might get stuck. You might find new obstacles because society is changing, systems are changing, mindsets are changing, interaction between people are changing. The level of interaction has changed from a different level, from the previous level of interaction to the interactions that we have now, in order to engage in certain uh, in order to engage in certain discipline, or in order to bring some change. So based on such a diverse set of people, such a diverse set of mindset, you cannot have one size fit all strategy for a leader. So you have to dabble with uncommon ways of looking at things, shaping, reshaping, repositioning, re-strategizing. These issues have to be revisited on a regular basis. So, at the back of your mindset as a leader, pursuing excellence, human excellence, you have to build your framework based on uncommon thoughts at certain given point. Of course, there are certain things which are very common, mundane, day-to-day affair. We are not asking you to change those things. That will be foolish. What we are suggesting is that when you're striving towards something new, uncharted territory, and it's very difficult to just visualize what is going to take place, what is going to happen. You have to be ready, like Booker T. Washington says, that in a in a in an uncommon way, you have to challenge yourself so that certain new thoughts can actually come up, new ideas will roll in. But if you are closed, if you don't open your window of opportunity, then the new breeze, the new thoughts, new ways of looking at things will never evolve. The innovation, the spirit of creativity, the spirit of allowing the unknown to be uh, absorbing you, to be coming towards you, has to be considered. With that type of philosophy, you are taking greater risk as a leader, that's for sure. But at the same time, with greater risk, the opportunity will open up to greater reward. So the old saying of no risk, no gain comes in very appropriately in these type of situations. So when you are looking for excellence, when you're driving for excellence, you have to do things in an uncommon way on a leadership basis, on a regular basis. If you look at some of the greatest leaders of society, you will see somewhere they had turned something completely upside down. People had thought that they would be following a certain direction, certain mindset, but then they get surprised, and this leader takes a different route, sometimes making the entire community questioning his journey or her journey. But in the end, this is through his strong will or her strong will, strong philosophy, sharpness of mind, and ability to see the vision and the future. This person actually creates the new path for the society, for the the company in which he or she is leading. So taking this leadership and driving it within the framework of doing uncommon things is a natural characteristics of a leader that we need to pursue. However, we have to also realize that what is the blend of this engagement, how big of a percentage would be for you to move in an uncharted direction, and how big of a percentage would be to follow the status quo, follow the norm. That's a common dilemma that all leaders have to follow, and it will come with wisdom, it will come with years of experience, it will come from your knowledge, gathering of information from around your environment. So this is a very important a definition or a quote which can be applied in almost every single environment. Moving forward, this is by Confucius, another famous spiritual leader. He's saying the will to win, the desire to succeed, the urge to reach your final potential. These are the keys that will unlock the doors to personal excellence. So, focusing on the word unlocking the doors to personal excellence. Therefore, what this means is that something magical, something really good is on the other side of the door. We, as normal human beings, sometimes do not take the energy, do not have the willpower, do not have the mindset, neither we feel that we are capable of getting to that point, and then we retract, we step back, we never go for the kill, we never go for the great outcome or great opportunity that lies on the other side, which we did not tread. We could have treaded a little bit more, we could have spent a little bit more of our hard work and energy in the pursuit of our dream. We step back, we come back, and we think that it is not possible for me to get to that point. It's like going through the walking through the base camps in Himalaya. You go through almost all the base camps, but you finally realize, or you start thinking that it's not possible. You're exhausted, your lack of oxygen, your you have lack of clarity at that point, and then you step down from that environment. But it is only the true leader who pursues the dream, who pushes himself herself to the last leg, and then unlocking the future is in the hands of that person. So this is a very important statement, and as a professional, as a leader, you have to start inculcating the spirit of energy, this energy to push yourself beyond the limit. If you can stretch yourself to, let's say, 100% or 90%, try another 5%. Then maybe the outcome that you had so desired, so envisioned, would actually come true. You will gain the fruits of the hard work and hard toil. So it's it's like a planting an idea, watering the idea for a long time, seeing the idea grow into a nice tree, and then ultimately you nurture, nourish the environment, and the idea turns into a flowering tree, or a flowering, or a beautiful plant that grows the fruit for you, and then you can pluck the flower or pluck the fruit and consume. And that's what we're talking about. You need to move towards your true potential. And if you have the urge to move towards your true potential, then this road, the desired road to win the true potential, is sometimes it has many different obstacles that you have to overcome and move through that particular journey. Why do I emphasize this unlocking the future philosophy? It is because many of us have actually gone through this process. As I speak of this journey, you can relate to your own lives. There are moments in your life that if you start thinking with me, then you will realize that perhaps if you had pushed yourself just a little bit more, that 10% extra effort you didn't give, and therefore you came back from that journey. But somebody that you know, who was alongside with you on the same journey, went over the wall and created great opportunities for himself or herself. So this is a realization that must seep in for each of us. So what we have to do from today, as a leader, as someone who is pursuing human excellence, is taking the bull by the horn, as the going says. You have to grapple with the problem, you have to grapple with the issue, and find the right set of solution and drive towards attainment of the drive towards attaining a certain output, which is going to cross over the problem and arrive in the territory of solution. So turning everything into the system of solution, designing everything around the mindset of solution. Every problem, there is a solution. That's the philosophy of a good leader, that you have to start inculcating within your soul, within your mindset, within the environment in which you are working. So once you operationalize this idea, as we said, if you make it into a second habit, as Aristotle was talking about, constantly designing the future in the light of being able to get it done, in the light of pursuing and achieving the outcome, focusing on the solution. If your mindset is trained in that way, then solutions will always be there. And always note, you may not have the right knowledge to solve a particular issue, solve a particular problem, but you always have within your arm's reach to reach out to other people who are knowledgeable in the domain, get them to participate and develop something that you are getting stuck with at this point. So that is the leadership journey. Leadership is not about just doing everything by himself or herself. It is about being able to bring people together in the common journey, empowering them with the passion, so they, along with you, create the new output that you are so wishing to happen. So that's the idea of human excellence, and we have to unlock this potential by constantly having this willpower and the desire to win. So moving forward, now I have I start with a definition sometimes on leadership, and today's leadership is connected with human excellence. So, what is leadership? It is made of passion to excel personally, and of the inspiration that helps others to excel through human excellence. Human excellence frontiers are stretched under effective leadership. So, what it's suggesting or telling us is that if you want to excel personally, and if you want to gather the energy and the inspiration that allows you to excel, leadership is that process that takes you to this journey, and this process is pushed forward with the mindset of human excellence. So the core philosophy of leadership is to drive towards human excellence. As
our focus should be on excelling personally. Once you are excelling personally in every domain, then automatically you are you're a few steps ahead of your competitor. Everybody else in this world is also competing for certain outcome, be it your job, be it a business opportunity, uh, getting the attention of larger number of people, being a social or political leader. Everybody is pushing himself or herself in order to create this environment that allows him or her to proceed forward and stand out from the rest of the people. So doing something differently is one's focus we had talked about. So in this case, leadership is this personal journey of excellence. Why? Towards attaining human excellence. So uh, the final destination is the process through which we achieve human excellence. Note, human excellence is not a stationary product, also. Once you have excelled at a certain level, you can push the envelope of excellence even further. You could try more. It's like a sprinter going through the 100-meter marks in 9.03 seconds or something. That person will constantly strive, or the rest of the world will constantly strive to break that 9.0 second 100-meter mark. I don't know what is the world record at this point, but it's probably 9.1 or 2 seconds. So that person will constantly push to break that mark. So it is in every domain of knowledge. We are to constantly try to push ahead and break the old mark. This is the game of competitiveness. This can happen individually. This can happen through a process of collaboration. When you're designing something new, normally it is a process of collaboration. You may have a strong influence on the design. You may be the chief designer, chief planner, but there will be a set of people who are supporting you. So this leadership is this particular journey of personal excellence to drive towards human excellence, which is also shifting. Once you reach to the point of human excellence, you are moving towards greater glory as a leader. So you even push harder. So the, that's why we are talking about human excellence frontiers. So there are no end point of frontiers. The philosophy of a frontier is open, expansive. You cannot you cannot fathom the great expanse that is in front of you, but you know that if you step in that direction, some tremendous opportunity lies. So that's like a human excellence and the frontier of knowledge, frontier of skills, everything that will come together, and you are stretching yourself, and then you're becoming the true leader that you have always been visioning towards becoming. Moving to the next slide, we had talked about human excellence. So this is, we know it from a common sense perspective. So here is the technical definition of human excellence. The word excellence is derived from the Latin word excellentia, which means the quality of being extremely good. So you can easily understand uh, a person who is excellent or building a career based on human excellence would try to strive to be excellent, not only in his or her capacity as a knowledge worker, but as a great communicator, as a great orator, leader, presenter, everything. A person with strong will and mindset, all of these are connected with this notion of human excellence. So at the end of the point, human excellence is nothing but tremendous leadership. So, human excellence could be defined as those human qualities that make a person outstanding, exceptional, superior, or in one word, the best of one's kind in any field of human activities. So, building yourself to be at the pinnacle of success, being at the top based on your vocation is human excellence. So if you're an artist, you have to try to strive to be one of the best artists in your domain. If you are an engineer, it's the same thing applies, and so on and so forth for any of the vocations. So this mindset has to be completely internalize. You have to immerse yourself in this journey, that in my journey for success, I would be pursuing human excellence. So the word human excellence should be sticking to the core of your soul. So I need to move forward with excellence. What is my journey? My journey will be an excellent journey. How will I design my plan? It will be excellently designed. So superior, excellent, exceptional, these are common threads of ideas that should be sticking to your mind. The ideas like average, below average, maybe, uh, I don't know, it may happen. Those notions, those terminology, those are those are negative thoughts. They can actually pull you down. So inadvertently, you might be pushed into a corner if you are not careful as to what type of wordage you're using, what type of discussions that you're pushing in your amongst your audience, what type of philosophy you're projecting. If those are connected with impacting words, high sounding, energy giving words, truly something which can catapult you, then ultimately your behavior will start changing in the positive direction. Unless you follow this process, you have to follow the process of good words, good energy, positivism. It will blend with your mindset, and ultimately you will start becoming that person that you're trying to champion towards. So once you create the new self, it is a process. One more time, it's a behavioral change, and it takes a transitional period. You can't do it overnight, but if you breathe human excellence, the spirit of human excellence on a daily basis, then ultimately people around you will see that you are becoming more positive. Radiance, your character is giving out radiance. You're more you have a better poise. You're communicating more appropriately. Everything will be turning more positive around you. So this energy is also contagious. So once you wear that spirit of being someone of true high quality leader with human excellence, it will gravitate towards the other, it will radiate towards the other. You should try it from today rather than feeling that it's not for me. So I urge you to pick on this idea of positive energy, positive mindset, positive philosophy, and rub it onto your soul on a daily basis, in the morning and in the evening. And then you will see that you are getting 5% more energy. You're moving 5% faster. You're doing things 5% easily because you are believing in yourself. So spread this notion of human excellence across boundaries amongst your people. The idea of no, turn that into next opportunity. So moving forward, this is part of it is from Daniel Goleman. The other part, I have blended it with human excellence because they have the connectivity. What Daniel Goleman talks about is emotional intelligence, and this emotional intelligence is someone who not only has the knowledge, he or she has the ability to appropriately use that knowledge to the welfare of society, for the growth of himself and his or her organization. So having knowledge but not knowing when to use it is not emotional and intelligent. But having knowledge and skills and having the capacity to use it at appropriate levels is actually emotional intelligence. A person with proper emotional intelligence reaches further than person with just simple knowledge, because knowledge by itself is not sticky. It's sticky, but knowledge on on the wheels of common sense on the wheels of emotional intelligence will take you to your destination. You'll go further. So push this idea, push this mindset of emotional intelligence and the incorporated perspective. So what are these few areas which you can use? And then once you start using it on a regular basis, you drive towards human excellence. And that is why I've connected emotional intelligence with human excellence. This is something that I have thought about, and I have connected this process. Once you have proper emotional intelligence and all the nitty gritty into becoming a smarter, intelligent human being, then you will be pushing yourself towards that journey of becoming human excellence, journey of turning into someone having human excellence. So this takes through perseverance. It's a process. And what are these things we had talked about previously? So I won't go into detail, but it's self-awareness, knowing what is around you, and sensing the environment, and then taking action. Self-regulation, understanding that what things you can do and what things you cannot do in a certain environment. So that is very important, an issue, a trait that you should have if you want to be a person with good emotional intelligence. Social skills, being able to write well, being able to interact well, gesturing, smiling, being in the middle of the people, and yet not be you be unperturbed. Don't rub the sound, the other kind of issues that are going around. Don't show your frustration amongst a group of people. Try to absorb, try to learn, and then move forward. So sometimes it's very difficult, but having different social skills is so pertinent to becoming a true leader, developing the human excellence component of the leader, and being empathetic, knowing the feeling, or understanding the issues that the other person is going through. So empathetic journey is absolutely important. We have been covering issues on empathy all throughout this journey of turning yourself into a good leader. And if you want to ask me what is one of the great characteristics of a true leader, I would think it would be empathy. And the last one is emotional intelligence. Builds on having the motivation to push your team. Knowing when to offer what type of motivation is very important. So if you're in a very complex situation, the motivation would be slightly differently designed, but where you have achieved certain success and it's you are happy, you can use a different level of motivation. So without going into these things into nitty gritty, I would like to capture the essence that if you have these emotional intelligence components within yourselves, then as a leader, you will be driving towards human excellence. So moving to the next slide, this journey we had talked about. So leadership is nothing but a journey. It starts from day one as you come into this world. Of course, you are a child at that point, but let's say when you turn into 15 and 16, you are constantly tested in society. Things will come in your direction. You have to overcome and achieve success. It might be school project. It might be discussions and communication and friendship within your friends who are between 13 14 years old, and then moving to your college life, your professional life, your mid-career, and even towards your journey towards your adulthood, and even towards the journey towards becoming an elderly and old person. Everywhere you are going to be tested. So this journey, if you can blend human excellence, then you are actually in the motion of turning yourself into a great leader. You're in the next level of leadership. So if I were to consider leadership, it's a journey, and it goes through a level of process. So in the first sphere of your life, you pick up certain elements. In the next sphere of your life, you add to it, and that's how you move forward. So as a human being, you should not be too harsh on yourself that I am 22 years old. Say, why don't I have all this component within myself? Why can't I do everything right the first time? This would not be a good strategy to have. What the strategy to have would be very essential for you is to say that in this previous engagement, what are the things that I actually missed? Where can I improve? So you need to strengthen the weakness areas, and then you need to focus on your strength areas, and then you repackage this so that in your next outing, that on your next activity, you can actually do slightly better. And this is how you develop yourself. Maybe you did something very nicely, but you actually did not have the proper communication with your team. So at certain times, the team had thought that maybe they're losing you, but in reality, you had done the work and you were extensively focused. So next time you have realized that at certain points there might be a disconnect with the people with whom you're working. So you need to alter your communication slightly so that all the activities that you're pushing forward with, you do that, but you blend in a little bit more of communication so that everybody is on the same page. We had talked about leadership journey and communication previously, so I don't want to get into that discussion at this point. Then we'll have to spend another 20 minutes at least. So anyway, you you have to build on your positives. You have to build on being more responsible. High level of consciousness has to be present in your mind, in your soul. High level of consciousness that you have to be aware at every given moment who you are, where you are, what you're doing, what is the intended output, and whether you have communicated these issues with the rest of the people. So clarity of vision is absolutely important. So driving a people-centric organization sometimes becomes so vital. Rather than driving something as one lone leader and then striking it big, you perhaps do not need to go in that journey, because if you fail, the entire journey is wasted. Your organization might be miserably failing. You don't want to do that. So in order to get to your outcome, the intended outcome, you can design the people-centric organization. We had talked about people-centric organization and the design of the organizational culture previously, and we will also come back and position these ideas in a different light in the future. Anyway, so people-centric organization probably will be slightly better than being somewhere as islands of hope, but disconnected islands of hope. You don't want to be in that position. So all of this you have to achieve through building the passion and energy at every level. You can't be dilly-dallying on this process. You can't be passionate at certain times, then have a period of lull, absolute period of lull. It won't work. So you have to push yourself in that journey. And then if that process is going on, then you are looking and spreading this energy at all levels and designing and reshaping the self. That means you're constantly evolving your own self so that you become the best version of yourself in the next opportunity. So this process of leadership journey will ultimately turn yourself into someone having true human excellence. So the leadership journey is connected with human excellence. So moving forward, I think we have come to the end of my slide. Yes, this is the $1,000,000 question that I normally have. So today's $1,000,000 question is how best to blend human excellence and execute timeline, given that human excellence is not a short-term option. What I'm trying to arrive at is the fact that is the issue here through this question is that what percentage of time that you would be blending in order to strive towards human excellence and appropriately get that activity moving on the floor on a regular basis. That means what percentage of time would you be tinkering with planning, and what percentage of time would you be tinkering with execution? There is a statement that goes like that: more than 80% or a certain percentage, more than 50% of your time should be given on planning, and the rest should be given on executing. You can't say that with certainty with every single product or every single engagement. But what this statement is suggesting is that a great amount of energy should be focusing on planning and driving towards a effective plan, which is superb, which is fantastic. And in terms of human excellence, it is beyond the normal, average, mundane outcome. So pushing yourself in the domain of human excellence and pushing the timeline, the amount of time that should be given on human excellence is very needed, and then a certain time should be given on the execution. So for me, I would be blending more time towards perfecting my plan, perfecting the human engagement dynamics, the proper communication, proper product, planning the right product, based on the right research is very important. You can't be doing a short-term research and expect to have a very comprehensive product. Sometimes it's good to take the time, understand the process, understand all the variables, the tools of engagement, the ecosystem, and then take the appropriate time, design the product, design the service, and then execute. So the answer would be based on the industry, based on the product, or based on the service. But it should be a blend, a reasonable blend. You can't be doing 90% of one, focusing on human excellence and designing your organization such a great level that everyone is almost turning himself or herself into a perfect human resource person. But you're you're delaying the um, marketing of the product that you wish to sell into the market. By doing so, you're actually adding cost to your organization. So you have to wear that hat very responsibly. It is an issue of cost versus performance. Obviously, if you want to create a extremely uh, perfect product, it will add to your cost. But the question that you have to ask, is this needed? Is this needed for the target market to which you are selling your product or service? If it's needed, by all means, you need to push for the human excellence, push for the product excellence. If you're selling a Lamborghini, if you're selling a Rolls Royce, if you're selling a jet engine, of course perfection is needed, and focusing on human excellence would be the driving force. But if you're selling something which is for the lower valued client in terms of the economic value, then you can create something reasonably sturdy, and then you can push the product out. So you may not need 15 months of research or 10 months of research. You can go about by 4 or 5 months of activity and 4 or 5 months of research. So my $1 million question sort of tells us that you also have to use emotional intelligence and particular knowledge as to what type of energy should be spent on human excellence and what type of energy should be spent on ultimately rolling out the product or service that you had been planning for. So with that, I would be ending my English session, but I would like to come back I would like to just add the Bengali terms for the emotional intelligence we had talked about. So the Bengali term for self-awareness is actually Atto-Niyantron, the self-regulation. So Atto-Niyantron is the self-regulation. Atto-Sochetanata is self-awareness. Social skills is Samajik Dakkota. Empathy is Sahomormita. Uh, Sahomormita. And motivation is Prerona. That's what I wanted to say in Bengali. Thank you very much. Back to you, Edward Probir Mondal.
Right. Thank you very much. With that, we conclude our 35th episode of Leadership Speaker Series. And thank you, Advocate Gio Rahman, for your presentation. So we are welcoming you to attend our regular session next coming Wednesday. As you know, that Edmonton, Calgary, or Mountain Standard Time, we are being at every Wednesday at 9 p.m. And Ottawa, Toronto at Eastern Standard Time, it is 11 p.m. And in Bangladesh, Dhaka at on Thursday morning at 10 a.m. And in India, it is 9:30 a.m. on Thursday morning. With that, thank you very much and stay safe and stay blessed. Thank you.